Welcome to the video lecturing series of compiler design. Today in this video lecture series we will discuss about the code generation. So code generation is the final phase of our compiler model or compiler phases, and it takes the input as the intermediate representation with supplementary information from the symbol table and produce the equivalent target program. So that is the output. Here the code generation will take here what we will do is like it is the task of mapping the intermediate code to machine code, and while doing this mapping we have to consider mainly two requirements. One is correctness and another is efficiency. In correctness we have to preserve the semantic meaning of the source program, and efficiency means make effective use of the available resources, and code generator itself must run efficiently. So efficiency and correctness should be preserved while doing the code generation, that is transforming the intermediate representation or intermediate code to machine code. Now, so this is the compiler architecture. In that we already discussed all of the phases like lexical analysis, syntax analysis and semantic analysis. After that intermediate code generated, intermediate language is produced, and then code optimization, and the last phase is code generation. So code generation is the last phase, and we are taking the intermediate code along with symbol table as an input to the code generator to produce the final target language. And the main issues in the design of code generator are input to the code generator, target program, memory management, instruction selection, register allocation, evaluation order, then approaches to the code generation. So these are the main issues in the design of code generator. Now we will see each one in detail. The first one is the issues in the design of code generator. The first is if we are giving input to the code generator, in that the main input is that we are giving for code generator is intermediate representation, then symbol table. IR is intermediate representation plus symbol table is given as the input, that is as input of code generator. Here IR will take several choices. This intermediate representation may take several choices, like either it may be a syntax tree or a directed acyclic graph or a 3-address code. This may be this intermediate representation may be in any of this. So here 3-address code is also representation can be either a quadruple format or a triple format or indirect triples or any of this format. So 3-address code, we assume the front end produce the lower level intermediate representation. Values of name in it can be directly manipulated by the machine instruction, and here we will do the type checking also. Type checking is also present here. So syntactic and semantic errors have been already detected. Some code generator performs semantic checking also. So that is all about the input to the code generator issue in issues of code generator. Next is the target program. So the next in this point, the target program is the final target code. Final target program is the output of the code generator. Then this output may take variety of forms, like either absolute machine language or a relocatable machine language or an assembly language. So here if it is an absolute machine language, it is faster in compilation. It is absolute means it is faster in compilation and execution. The relocatable machine language means it is flexible. Object files for linker and all used here, and it is flexible. And assembly language means makes a code generation faster, facilitates the debugging and all. And here absolute machine language has the advantage it can be placed in a fixed location. And in case of relocatable machine language, it allows the subprogram to compile separately. That is why we are calling it as a flexible, although it contains object files and all. And next is assembly language program as output makes the process of code generation somewhat easier. And here make the code generation more faster in case of assembly language. So this is about the target program. Now the next issue is memory management. So here in memory management, it labels in the 3-address statement or quadruples have to be converted to address. So here memory management, you have to consider the mapping the names in the source program to address of the data object. So here it is given with names that we have to map with a memory address, that is done by the front end as well as the code generator. So here the 3 address statement has to be converted to address instruction. That is important point, that is known as, this is process is analogous to backpatching process. So in memory management process, it will label the 3 address code, that name is mapped to some address value. And in while doing the runtime storage management, the information needed during the execution of a procedure is kept in a block of storage. We will call that as activation record. Whenever a procedure is called, a stack frame is allocated on the stack and the information is stored in the stack are return address, local variable, temp arrays and return values and all. So whenever we are finishing that, that will be removed. Mainly 2 storage allocation strategies are there. One is stack allocation, another is static allocation. In the case of stack allocation, whenever a new activation record, whenever a procedure call is made, a new activation record is pushed onto the stack. For each execution of the procedure, the record is popped when the activation record ends. In case of static allocation, the position of the activation record in memory is fixed at the compile time. That is the difference between stack allocation and static allocation in case of memory management, runtime memory management. Next issue is instruction selection. While doing the instruction selection, we have to consider the uniformity and completeness of the instruction are very important, and code generator map the intermediate form code into a code sequence that can be executed by the target machine. On some machine, floating point operations are done using separate registers and all is an example of this. Now just consider here instruction speed is another factor. The quality is measured by the speed and the size. The quality of the generated code, while doing the instruction selection, we have to consider the efficiency of the target program. If we are not at all considering efficiency and all, we can easily do the instruction selection, but while considering the efficiency, we have to consider its speed, size and all. Just consider an example, x equal to x plus y. So here we will represent it in this format: load r0 and y, then add r0 comma r0 and z, then store in x comma r0. This is the format for doing this x plus y assembly language code. Now in instruction selection, we have to consider 2 other important things like register allocation and register assignment. In register allocation, instructions involving the register operand are usually shorter and faster than those involving operands in memory. 2 main problems in register allocation are register allocation and register assignment. So in case of register allocation, select a set of variables that will reside in register. So whichever variable are reside inside the register is done in register allocation, and in register assignment, select specific register that variable is reside in. Okay. So and example is register pair for multiplication and division and all is an example of this. Just consider this example. The multiplication instruction is of the form m x comma y. Here x is the multiplicand and y x is the multiplicand is in the even register of an even and odd register pair. The multiplicand value is taken from the odd register. Here x and y is there. X is in the even register and y is in the odd register. Here we are doing the multiplication. Here an even and odd pair of register is there. Even pair and odd pair. Inside the even pair, x is stored. Inside the odd one, y is stored. So the multiplicand value is taken from the odd register. The multiplier y is a single register. The product occupies the entire even and odd register pair. So that is the register allocation process of multiplication or any other operations. Now just consider this example. Here t is equal to a plus b, t is equal to t star c, and t is equal to small letter t divided by t. So, here you can see the register allocation, like first I am loading a R1 a value to R1, then b to R1, then adding R1 a plus b, that means inside R1 a is there, I am doing addition of a plus b. Then next step is t into c, t is inside R0, so multiply R0 comma c, then division R0 by R0 and t, that is t by d is done, then store inside R1 comma t. Same thing that we are here doing here also. First loading, then adding a plus b, then t plus e is done using R0 plus c. Then shift right double arithmetic is done with R0 and 32 bit. Then division with t by d, then R1 plus R1 comma t. So, this is the one example of register allocation, how it is doing. Now, another is choice of evaluation order. Here the main thing is like we have to do the how the in which order we are doing the evaluation. The order in which computations are performed can affect the efficiency of the target code. Here you can see a plus b minus c plus d star e. Here a plus b is added, then c plus d, that is multiplied with e into t2, then t1 minus t3. That is, I am reordering in some other format, like first I am doing c plus d, because here priority is given for c plus d. So, t plus d is done first, then that is multiplied with next higher priorities for multiplication, that is multiplied with e, then a plus b is doing, then finding the difference. So, whenever an instructions are independent, their evaluation order can be changed, but for dependent instruction we have to consider priority and associativity and all. So, evaluation order is also very important while doing the code generation. These are the main issues in the case of code generator. So, that is all about code generation and issues in the code generation. Thank you.